Welcome to episode 2 of Paper and Parsecs, the podcast, Star Wars D6 First Edition. I am one of your hosts, DM Vince, and stage left, I got it right this time, is DM Nick.
Hello, everybody.
That way, that way. And right below down there, the man in charge, GM Matt.
Hello, everyone.
He demoted himself because he's no longer DM Matt, so.
No, DM is trademarks of a certain company. We don't want to potentially infringe upon them.
Right? We don't want to do that.
So this week, Balderdash.
Right. So we had some good reception from the first episode. People liked it. I shared it a bunch of places. You guys shared it a bunch of places on Twitter. I shared it on Reddit. Reddit was pretty pumped, excited somewhat about it. A lot of people wanted to see a bunch of things. They made a bunch of lists of things. I wrote it down so we know for the future. Got a lot of thumbs up. We got a lot of views. So this will be the second episode in the series. We're going to go through the books. Wanted to point out one last thing before we continue with the episode today, is that if you can get a hold of this book, it is an excellent book for your campaign for first edition or second or re-up or whatever you want to call it, revised, expanded. This came out in 93. It was a source book, the corporate sector source book, and it's a really good campaign setting for smugglers, pilots, things like that. No, probably not Jedis. Maybe you can squeeze some Jedis in there. Who knows? I saw these at half price books. If you have a half price books near you, Matt and I are lucky to have one. Nick, do you have one near you?
I do have one up in Cleveland I could go to. Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty common as far as your area over there and towards the Southwest. Books A Million would probably be the equivalent over on the East Coast. And I don't think Barnes & Noble actually has used books anymore.
No, Books A Million does. When they were around here, didn't either.
Really? Oh, the one that before I left Pennsylvania, they had a couple of them, and they had a used section books too.
Oh,
but if you find it a used bookstore, like we have a Recycle Books here in town, and in Texas here as well, and I can go in there and grab some like old RPG books. Go ahead and look them up, and just take a look. Sometimes you'll be surprised what you find there, and these books are generally cheap. Probably get them off Amazon really cheap as well. But we are going to do a episode about combat this week, because I know a lot of people have a lot of comments about combat, and they always get confused on it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over how it is in the book. Matt is going to GM, like we said, a session for us right after we go over it per the book, because that's how Matt knows it.
Yep.
And we'll comment here and there how I do combat and how Nick does combat, because we all do it differently. I do not follow the book. I have my own method that makes combat a little bit quicker, but we will not worry about that right now. So let's get right into things, and I will share my screen properly and bring that up. So if you flip to page 46, you guys can see that, right?
Yep.
Sure can.
Combat. Chapter 3, 46, page 46 in the book. Sequencing for combat. It goes over exactly how you do combat. And you could see that, first of all, you can see it's aged. It's timed you can see from the 80s. This is how combat was done a lot in the 80s. It was always, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, the bad guys are doing this. And then we resolve what you're doing. And you can't change your actions, which I always hated. And I always hated that about D&D as well. I don't know about you guys.
When I played a Marvel superheroes campaign, I did that just to be different. So it because otherwise players will very much, my group in particular, will fall in the trap of analyst paralysis while trying to figure out the exact best tactic. Whereas if you make them pick before and they don't know exactly what everyone else has done before them, or they all have to declare at once, it gets past that.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to do that regardless, so.
Yeah. That is true. It's also why, like, when given the opportunity, I try not to run like games with like a actual grid and the full minis. Well, I'll use the minis in the display, but it's more ballpark, not like, okay, we're measuring out or counting out to get in that tactical bog, because that's how you draw out.
For
combat
me,
way too long.
in my games, I keep it really simple, and I have a D6 roll for each side of
Mhm.
combatants. So if there's like 2 different types of bad guys, they would get 2 different dice. Everybody rolls a D6. The one with the highest goes first, unless it's like a surprise or a logical thing that they would not go first.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I just go around the table. What are you doing? Done. Resolve the action. What are you doing? Done. Resolve the action. Done. Blah, 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 blah. I do it that way. It makes it quicker than sitting on the table going, what are you going to do? 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 Okay, the bad guys are doing this. And then, resolve it that way. I think this way, that way is a little bit quicker for me, but whatever works for your group. So
Yeah.
the sequences in combat is decide what each non-player character is going to do that round. While you're deciding, let the players decide what they want to do next. So, decoration segment. And then you go around the table and ask each player what they want to do. And then you tell them what the NPCs will be doing. This is definitely old school.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first action segment. Each character for whom an action was declared takes his first action. An action is either a movement or skill or an attribute use. Second segment. If any character declared more than one action, which you can do, characters' second actions are now resolved. Any character for whom had one action was declared does nothing, but may dodge or parry in this segment. And then, then you would go on if someone had more than 2 actions and yada, yada, yada. What they're saying here in the book is if somebody hesitates, their character hesitates.
Yes.
So if you got one of those players that just is not quick on their feet and go, you just move to the next person.
Yeah.
Their character's delayed. They got scared or they just couldn't think of what to do. And they have this weird suggestion, and I've seen this before, and I think this was in the Marvel game too. Seat the player whose character has the lowest perception to your left, but it wasn't a perception, it was another skill stat.
Yeah, intuition.
Yeah, intuition with the one next to you, with the one next to the highest until so on. So that way you can go around the table, and I always thought that was kind of weird. Players have to sit where they want to sit, so or we can do it most experienced player to your left, so he's the quickest action person. So it's really how you want it to the left.
It's like a throwback to when you had like the talking stick, and this is the person that decided what the group was doing in like OD&D.
Yeah, a lot like that. You declare your actions, and you're held to them.
Exactly. So for actions, you do reaction skills, see page 12, can be used in any action segment. A character who uses a reaction skill can still take an action, move, or use a skill or an attribute in the same segment. If a character uses a reaction skill, it affects all attacks in the same segment, but not... See how wordy this is?
Yeah. I'm surprised it doesn't have a blind chit draw, really.
Yeah. So basically, it affects all the other actions that you do in the game. If you take an action, you're going to minus a die. If you're reacting to something, you're going to minus a die, is what it's telling you for every reaction that you're going to do. For movement, and again, I don't use this movement because I didn't use millimeters or anything like that because I'm American. So
we use
this is America.
Yeah.
Feet. We use feet. So
we use freedom lengths here.
Yeah, freedom length. Exactly. One thing I'd never noticed in the book here. And it's 5 meters for walking and
10 for running.
10 for running. One thing I've never noticed here, and I thought this was really ridiculous, a running character can move up to 10 meters. However, he can only turn 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Because he can't turn on what person can't turn on a dime while they're running? I mean, yeah, I'm a fat guy, but I could still turn pretty quickly to run.
But could you bust the 120 and not like skid? We're talking like NFL running back stuff here. We're getting some like Walter Payton, some Herschel Walker.
I'm pretty sure I could turn around and run and
full run, then immediately spin in place and run.
No, I'd probably just pass out from
anyway, wind sprints, baby.
I would fall.
Yeah. I mean, the only place that ever happens in real life is in a professional wrestling ring because I don't understand how rope physics actually work. but they do.
Because you bounce off the ropes. That's why.
But you turn around. You're running in a straight line, and somehow you also turn around.
It's just called physics. That's all it's called.
But-
Anyway, I never really noticed that there until actually reading it for this episode. And I'm thinking to myself, well, who can't really turn? Why would you be a 90? I would not hold people to a 90-degree angle for running. I mean,
Yeah. But
45. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, up to a 90 degree. So 45 would be okay. It's just you can't basically bust a quick Yui.
I mean, you could if you jumped.
Yeah. Or a
So
jab.
whenever a character is running and making a skill or attribute roll, his code is reduced by 1 die. So it's -1 die for running and doing something because you're actually physically concentrating on running and taking your full movement while doing that. So let's see here. Stance. A character can either be standing or prone, obviously. A character can fall prone at any time without penalty. A character who is prone can get up and use skills in the same combat round, but cannot walk in the same combat round. So you can get up, get down, boogie down, but you can't move forward.
Yep.
Nick knew I was going to do that. So
You'll get down on it. Down on it.
exactly. You just can't walk. You can get up and down, and that's kind of like your movement. And you see that in later like games as well. You can go prone and stand up, but you really can't move. I know some GMs will like be like, all right, you can move like a step or two. They'll allow that just because it makes a little bit of sense because some people are faster than others. So more agile, more dexterity.
Right.
You know. A prone character can crawl 2 meters, which would be what?
2 meters would be
Half a square on the map,
yeah.
maybe.
Like 4 feet or something like that, maybe 3.5.
Roughly. Yeah,
Yeah.
roughly.
Well, a meter's 3 feet, so you're crawling 6.
Oh, 6. Okay.
Well,
Now,
39 inches, but yeah, a meter.
When I play, I just use squares, and I just put it down to 6 squares for moving forward, or 5 squares depending.
Yeah.
And if you're running, I just double it. I don't care for using meters, but that's just me. It's here. Everybody plays how they want to play. Anyway, a crawling character's skill and attribute codes are reduced by 1 like a running character. So they're focusing again on doing that military crawl going forward. They're going to be -1 die for any action they do. So fire combat, which is not what you think, and that's not like causing a fire and then making combat.
You're not
happen.
waving torches around, but you could
Yeah.
be.
You could be if you really wanted to. Blasters are the most common thing used in Star Wars. Every movie, every single movie, you always see blaster fights in the universe.
Pew.
The blaster skill, pew, 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 pew. Yeah, that's right. The blaster skill is used when firing all kinds of blasters, regardless of the specific model or type. Some other weapons are used by aliens, primitive cultures, or sports and historical enthusiasts. Like, think of that episode in Star Trek when Sulu had that. I know it's Star Trek. Shut up. When he had the old revolver pistol and he was firing it around. So,
Well, Tusken Raiders use regular conventional firearms.
that is
So,
true. They do. Yeah. And each of these other weapons has its own skill. You can look on page 31 of the book for that. And then something that's a little bit different. I don't know if it's in later editions because I don't really play later editions. And Nick, you do, so you can comment on this. Instead of rolling to see if you hit someone based on how high you roll versus their parry, whatever, you actually have a difficulty number depending on the range in first edition.
Mhm.
So anything within point blank range, which is 3 meters, which is, I don't know in feet exactly. We should probably get a translator out here for this. So
0.3 meters would be basically
not 0.3 meters, 3 meters.
3 meters would be 39 inches times 3.
Okay, so 9 feet. 3 meters equals 9.8 feet. So about 10 feet. So anything within 10 feet point blank range, you would have to roll your dice. So, for example, let's say I had a blaster skill of 4. I would take my 4 dice, roll them, add them up, and make sure I got over 5. Easy as can be, right? Short range. And you have to look at each weapon itself in the book. What page is that on, Matt?
It's actually, if you go to the back, there's a chart.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Oh,
it doesn't have a page number. It's like
that's right. One of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the last 3 pages in the book.
And don't forget what he's saying about his blaster skill. You said 4 dice. So
Yeah.
if you split it up, it would show on your character sheet he had 2 dice in dex plus 2 dice in blaster. So
Right.
4 dice in total. Just want to make that clear to everybody out there. So the total for his blaster is his dex plus how much dice he dumped into that skill.
Otherwise, I would just use my dexterity straight up.
Exactly.
So let's, for example, say I had, I don't know, a blaster pistol, which is the most common thing in most of Star Wars is a blaster pistol or a heavy blaster pistol. Carbines are also kind of common. Repeating blaster. I know we used to have a lot in the Star Wars game, but
Han Solo's blaster is a heavy blaster pistol.
Yeah.
all right. Since we all love Han Solo, we'll go with his.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
a heavy
damage.
blaster pistol. Yeah.
So the damage is 5 dice code. Now, as you can see here, range in meters. Each one has its own specific range, short, medium, and long. And again, we go back to that chart again that we saw on page 47. Here we are. Medium. Each one of those ranges has a specific target number you have to hit. Now, if the target's protected by a wall or another, like a chair or whatever, another person, for example, is a human shield, you can increase the difficulty number by 5.
Mm-hmm.
Also increase the difficulty by 5. The target is prone, laying down, unless he's point blank range. These are some optional rules you can look up on page 51, but we're just doing basic rules today, combat.
Mm-hmm.
So don't freak out. Skill rolls. Once you determine the skill number, roll skill die. Have the player roll if the player character is firing. Remember to modify the skill codes for running and wounded characters, multiple skills, and etc. etc. Again, because if you're running, you're going to minus 1 die. If you're doing multiple actions, you're minusing 1 die for each multiple action that you have. So if I'm, for example, be like, all right, Matt, in my attack, I want to shoot 2 stormtroopers, and you're like, that's fine. That's minus 2 die. So remember, I said I had 4 dice for shooting my blaster. Now, going forward for both of my attacks, I only have 2 because I have multiple attacks going on. You also will have multiple attack minuses off your die if you're wounded, because there's a wounded chart on the character sheet that shows you, and we'll get into that later on. Every weapon has a damage code, as you saw. And mine happens to be a heavy blaster because we're going for Han Solo type thing. It's 5 dice. I would roll the 5 dice, give it to Matt, and he would determine if that actually would wound the character or not. There's an example of combat on page 13 that you can read over. 14, it kind of goes through the whole thing with players and things like that.
Yep.
So armor increases the character's strength code for damage determining purposes only. For example, a stormtrooper armor increases the character's strength by 1d when rolling to resist damage. So if you take damage, you're rolling your strength code or strength attribute to see if you resist the damage. The closer or further you get over the number, the less damage you're going to take. So, and again, we will show this during combat. It's a little bit easier than just talking about it.
Right.
So keeping track of damage when actually, there's a good example, I think, right here. It's not really that great. Keeping track of damage. When a player is injured, ask the player to note the wound status on his character template. You must keep track of the NPC wounds, obviously, as the GM. When several NPCs are involved in combat, is often used as scrap paper, blah, 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 blah. You know that as a GM. If you ever GM, you got to keep track of all your villains and NPCs, their health points and stuff like that, just to tell you when they're dead to the players. You can also dodge if you want to by declaring dodge. See, the way dodge works, anytime a character is fired upon, he may dodge. If he declares the use of other skills in the round, the use of dodge decreases all skill codes by 1d further. So, for example, let's go back to my character, and I was like, yeah, Matt, I'm going to take 2 shots, and I'm going to blast, the 2 stormtroopers. But they went before me, and they happened to hit me, and Matt's like, well, do you want to dodge? And I'll be like, all right, I'll dodge, because maybe I have a dodge attribute. And Matt's like, okay, remember when you fire next time, you're going to be only using 1 dice. So my dodge action went from 2 dice down to 1 die. Now, if another stormtrooper hits me and I'm like, oh crap, I got to dodge, my attacks will be null and void because I'll have no dice to roll going forward on my attacks. I'll just have to take a defensive stance, and that's it. You can set your blasters on stun. It just reduces the damage, so you don't kill anybody on purpose if you don't want to kill them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Can I go back when you said if you try to use a skill and you dodged, you go down to just one die?
No, you lose a die.
You lose. Okay, that's what I thought he said. Okay.
Oh, I
I'm
was
like-
saying in my particular case. I said in my particular case, I'd be down to one die.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I was using my character as an example. He went from 4. He's attacking 2 different attacks, which take away 2 dice, leaving me with just 2 dice to attack. Matt hits me with an attack. He's like, "Do you want to dodge?" I'm like, "Ah, crap. Okay, yeah." Matt tells me next time I'm going to attack, I'll only be using one die to attack.
That's why I took it down to 1. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I said that.
Okay, it makes sense to me now.
Yeah. If a character does not have a blaster in hand but has one in holster or the belt or wherever else, he can draw it and still do other things in the same segment, like setting a blaster on stun, drawing a weapon. Reduces all skilled attribute dice by 1. So you can pull out a weapon. You can change the settings on the weapon. You can reload the weapon. You can throw the weapon on the ground, but it's all going to minus 1 dice off your whatever you want to do that round.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, but and hand-to-hand combat is pretty much the same way. I think we're just going to jump right into going for the combat itself.
Yeah, just go into our little scenario.
Yeah.
Let me just get that up for everybody so we can do it. I think it'd be a little bit easier if everybody sees it as opposed to hear me talk about it the whole time. So Matt is going to be our GM in this scenario. I'll let him, when I'm done, I'll let him describe the setup and I'll let him take over. I'm playing the failed Jedi named Walix. Nick, who are you playing?
I am playing a minor Jedi named Jairus Slain.
Okay. And when Matt made up these characters, I actually told him purposely to give us people with force powers. So in the future, we can reference these characters and use them going forward. And we, it's kind of like a continuation scenario like we used to do with Roll for Initiative when we did those little segments.
Yep, I remember that.
So let me share my screen here and I will bring up the combat. We're here on Roll20. It's the easiest one to do. You guys can see my screen now. Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
So my character's here on the right. Unfortunately, with Roll20, it's kind of stuck in there, so I can't really do much about that.
Yeah. You can't take it out of there.
It would have been really nice if they gave you the ability to pop it out in a new window as opposed to being contained. But
yeah, if they did maybe there's a floating window. There is a floating window.
There's a float. We're learning new things on the fly.
Yeah, there's a floating window. Awesome.
How do you do that?
I see.
It's on the top left. It's on the top left of the character sheet.
Who would have thought that actually hit the button?
Yeah, right.
Oh, righteous. I like that.
So I could zoom in on the map a little bit more so y'all can see it a little bit better.
Yeah.
All right. So our characters are here.
Yeah.
My character is this bald guy right here because I'm a failed Jedi, so I must have failed my hair too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the description in the book of a failed Jedi, basically they dip heavy into alcohol and depression.
Oh, sweet. That's a definite change from the character that I played in the other campaign when he was basically a badass. But all right, I will hand it over to you, GM Matt.
Okay. So we find ourselves, we are on Commander Akbar's, one of his research labs that's on an asteroid. And the whole purpose of this facility is to develop a new B-Wing, a 2-person B-Wing to help combat the Empire.
That would be awesome.
Yes. So it's nearing completion and the sweeps and the radar and all of that, because yes, radar works in space, we'll say. The scanners have noticed a bunch of scout TIE fighters around the vicinity of the asteroid. So Akbar's kind of been on edge thinking that things are going to that the jig could be up soon.
It's a trap.
It is a trap. No, it's an ambush. It's more like so.
It's an
you're in the
ambush.
Yeah. So you're in the command center right now, and Akbar's like looking over the plans, and everything's going good. It's like, we're almost to completion. This will be a game changer in our battle with the Empire. Boom! Big explosion. It was
Okay.
like the lights start flickering. Yes, explosions and explosions. And Akbar goes and runs and looks at the screen, and he's like, "Oh no! The docking bay's been breached. There's a landing ship coming in. Oh my God, it's stormtroopers. We need to get out of here." So he starts loading up. We need to buy a little bit of time. We need, yeah.
No, I'm
We
talking
need
to
to-
Nick, who's trying to drown you out almost.
He's providing the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So he's like furiously trying to get the plans for the new B-wing off of the computers. It was like, we'll need them. The hangar bay's out, but there is the life pods. We can get to those. In which they are actually down in the. You all know this, since why you can see the entire map. It's down on number 12.
Okay, 12. Got
So-
it.
12.
Okay,
So you
gotcha.
can see they have the escape pods right there on the edge.
Yeah, you
So-
can ping the map if you hold down.
Yes. Ping. Ping,
Yeah, I
ping,
did. Ping, 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 ping.
ping,
I'm
ping.
pinging it.
Okay.
One ping only, Vasily.
So this is going on. And then you can see on the screens that stormtroopers are funneling out. They've already blasted the dock door off on 6 right there. That's already been busted. And now they're working on this.
Uh-oh.
They're bringing out some heavy weaponry, so they're going to make short work of the blast door, and they'll be on you before you know it. What do you do?
Close the blast doors. Close the blast doors.
They are.
They are
So
close.
you
Open the
got a
blast doors,
little
open
bit
the
of
blast.
time.
Yeah. So
Does he
Nick,
have?
I'll let
Does
you go
he have
first.
the plans like on a disc or something?
He's loading. He's transferring the data as we speak.
Admiral, as soon as you get those, hand
He's not
this
an
to
admiral.
me.
He's a commander yet. He hasn't got promoted.
Commander.
Yes.
But I see in your future you will be an admiral.
Oh, shut up. Just go on.
Using
Once the ship is, although they might make me an admiral. If we lose the plans, I'm toast.
All right.
You
So
will
you
be an
said they're
admiral.
coming in. They're coming in from 5, both
Yep, they're
areas.
going-
They're
Yeah,
breaking
they've
through.
already blowed out that door, and some are funneling in through 6. Some are
Uh-oh.
going, yeah. And then others are working on this door, and it's starting to give way.
Ruh-roh.
All right. So Nick, you're gonna grab the disc.
Yes.
Akbar
right.
will be making the escape with you.
Oh, so,
so
we gotta
we're doing a
protect him.
complete evac
All right,
we'll
we
just
have to
protect him. Yep. We'll
So,
just
yeah,
protect
I-
him.
because Akbar doesn't have a sidearm or anything on him. He's got the football.
Who's the other guy with us?
The other guy is Lieutenant Pollard. He's basically Akbar's right-hand man. He does have a sidearm on him.
Oh, does he now?
Okay.
So he's basically helping Akbar, making sure they get all the data transferred over.
I
And
blasted
we
him,
are
he's a traitor.
basically just part of the resistance. Is that just it?
Yes. Yeah.
So-
You're some Starship pilots, so you've kind of been involved in the development of it.
Got it. All right. So here's the plan. I'm gonna move myself over to here, but not yet. I'm just showing you myself
Mhm.
right here to see if you get to cover Akbar as he's running past me, and the stormtroopers come up this
Yep.
way over here.
Yes. That's and as you move out, you could hear like the blast door being pounded, and it's probably
Oh, I
going to
didn't- I
break at
didn't.
any moment.
I didn't move out. I was just trying to
Okay.
yeah, because you said declare. So
So you're gonna move right there.
yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
basically gonna move
You're-
right there to protect Akbar as he runs by, and take a defensive stance over here behind whatever this thing sticking out of the wall is. I guess.
And I'll
Yeah,
do the
because
same. I'll move
That
right
is actually
here.
a communication center. So that is where all the communications are. So you have your radios, your screens, satellite interfaces,
All right.
that type of thing.
So Nick
That's
and I are both guarding that entranceway over there.
Yeah,
for
I'm
him
gonna
to go
move
run
here.
by.
So
okay. So as you can go ahead and move your there.
Okay.
As you're moving out, you're here. Akbar say, the data's all transferred. And
But we're already
then,
out of the room, sir.
as you're running away, he's like, it's finishing up. So he will be moving there as well. Him and
is he using a
Pollard.
Commodore 64?
Maybe.
Yes.
it's the 80s, so
So they're like here when you hear a big explosion and the stormtroopers start coming through.
where's the explosion?
It's actually
Is it
right.
at that door? Yeah, okay.
Yes, this door is given
Uh-oh.
way.
I draw my blaster.
Yeah. I'm gonna draw my blaster too.
And
Oh,
then
that's a big stormtrooper.
I am going to
Yeah.
draw my blaster and take a knee behind that little corner right there.
okay. Yep. Because at this point they're just kind of storming. You could hear their footsteps, but you can't quite see them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're coming up. So basically, and then as they start, you actually see them before they see you. So I'll let
Good.
you guys actually get the first shot in because they're just kind of trouncing through like,
Okay.
not, like
Oh,
just,
go ahead. Nick, you go first. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. First one I see, I would assume probably this guy.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep. He's in lead.
So, I will use my heavy blaster, and I got 5 dice total in that
Okay.
to hit them.
Well,
Yep.
are we
So-
going by the book? Or are we going otherwise?
Let's go by the book. So but
We're
they're
declaring actions then.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're
declare.
in declaring actions phase.
Oh,
right now.
okay.
yes.
All right, so Nick declared he's going to blast that guy over there. My
Yeah.
guy is actually going to go right. He's going to not that big of a movement, but it's right here to
Yep.
this very little corner here. So he has partial cover and he can kind of lean out and blast.
Okay.
That's kind of what
And-
I'm doing too.
I figured you were doing it down here as well. and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could
So
blast-
basically,
You
you
can use
each
that
have
screen as cover.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you got partial cover, and you're just poking around the
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
they're coming up. And
right,
this-
I'm going to blast this guy right here.
okay. And then our troopers, they're just do coming up. And then so that's all they're doing. So you guys fire, and then we're
They're
within
close
at this
range.
point we're within we'll say short range.
Point blank range, according to this.
Well, that not the scale, because
okay.
these rooms are much larger. So I'm not at, so we can't actually go by the ruler. So this for this I'm just doing more theater of the mind for distance. So it's short
it.
range right now.
Short range, cool.
So,
So short
I'll-
range is a 10, according to page 47.
yes. And they seem
Uh,
completely unaware. So yeah, you guys can go ahead and roll your attacks.
What is Akbar and the other guy doing?
They are coming into the room. So basically heading towards, because Pollard's the one, he's unlocking all the blast doors for Akbar.
Okay, cool.
14.
All right, Nick, you're first. Okay, 14.
14. So that will definitely be a hit. So now you got to roll your damage.
Yep, gonna do that. Check out my little die rolling thing.
Ooh,
Got like a little stormtrooper head on it.
Ooh, fancy.
yeah.
All right, damage. Let's do
Yahtzee?
good. Oh yeah, this looks good.
You got a Yahtzee.
10, 15, 18, 24 damage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the stormtrooper will be rolling their
1
strength.
dice for their armor.
Yeah, so they get
They
that's
get
a
one
bit-
dice on top of their armor. They get 1 dice on top of their strength, which would be their armor, like you said.
Yeah.
right. So yeah, so they're rolling a whopping 3.
Oh, 3 dice. Hey,
I-
you get lucky.
They could get all 6s.
No, well, 13.
Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
we're basically looking you beat it, but it's not 2x. So that trooper is now wounded.
Good. Exactly what I wanted to do.
Yep. So now this trooper is now. We'll just do this. All right. I'll bet that's that. This is where. Yeah. So that trooper is wounded. So he'll be a -1 die to all of his actions.
Good.
I don't see any difference. Is there a difference on him?
There's not a difference.
Oh, okay. All right, so my guy's gonna, blast as stated.
Yep.
And he got, let's see, that is 10, 16 total.
16. Oh, this one rolls a 7. So you did get double.
Oh, that was
Nice.
just my hit. That was my
Oh,
two
your hit.
then.
That
Oh,
was
your
the
hit.
hit.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
the hit.
I
So a
thought
7.
was-
That would be a pew. You're shooting like a stormtrooper.
I got 17 total.
Oh, 17. I heard 7. Okay, so yeah, no, that will hit.
Yeah. And now the dice.
5 dice
the
damage.
5 dice. I got 8, 10, 12, 13 total damage.
13. I'm keeping that 7, so it's just under being
Yeah.
double.
Yeah,
So-
he's just
So
wounded.
the first two, they got their armor's got nice little blackened spots in them, and then now they're like, they're like, targets acquired, fire.
Uh-oh.
So okay, so we're back around to them. They're now aware you're there, so they'll. So you guys just continuing firing?
Yeah, we get to. I'll continue firing with my defensive hiding behind the wall.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
me
Okay.
too.
All right. And they are now the troopers will actually just be dropping in formation and firing at you guys.
Okay.
While Akbar and Pollard are actually going to the next blast door and Pollard's unlocking it for him. So okay, let's roll to our hits. So
Yeah, I mean, they should be able
Seven-
to hit us.
17 to hit.
okay. So you got a 17. That will definitely hit.
Okay. It's like rolling for Yahtzee.
Yeah.
I know, that's what it sounds like.
Man,
Oh,
I'm
it
doing
kinda
good
is.
on damage. Holy crap.
Yeah, what'd you get?
16, 23 damage.
Well, rolled a 7. So they
Ooh.
will be, but they will get to shoot the fire.
Yeah, they will get the
Good.
shoot. So
They will get to shoot, but basically that one is now evaporated.
nice.
You just boom, big. It'll yeah. Yeah, go ahead and roll yours, Vince.
All right. This time I got 11, 12, 15 total.
Good to
Okay.
hit.
Yep, good hit.
And damage,
Come on, big bucks, no whammies.
22.
Nice.
Ugh.
Nice.
Oh, this one rolled a 16.
Ah,
So
Poopy.
yeah, it was already wounded. So that will just up it another one.
yeah, he'll just drop down to another. He's
Ow.
kind
Ow.
of mortally wounded at this point.
Yeah, I'm not dead yet, but I will be soon. He
like,
wants to
"Poof,
stay in the
ow."
scene slightly longer. Now,
Ow.
however, they get to return some fire at you.
They're stormtroopers. They can't hit anything.
This is the one aiming after
Well, what-
Nick.
One of them's gone, right?
They will
Yeah.
be. It's all simultaneous since
Oh,
we're not since no one's been doing any interrupt actions.
Mhm.
We're just kind of all doing simultaneous fire.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But as soon as someone says, "I want to try to dodge,"
Right.
then okay, to hit Nick, they rolled
Ah.
a 16.
Ugh.
Well, actually, I rolled too many dice because they are wounded. So
Yeah.
that didn't happen because it should.
Right.
They're normally their dex is a 1 because of their armor, but they got a blaster of 3, so they're hitting on. They got 4, but with the one,
With our
yeah,
coverage, we got a +5, so they got to hit a
Right.
15 at least.
yeah, 15 on 3 dice,
Oh, wow.
Eh,
and that's an
So-
11. So that's a big old miss. And Nick's, because
Ooh,
Nick
right
shot.
out the rock.
Yep.
Okay. Whew. That was close.
Yep. And then now the one that was on Vince.
Hey,
Try to fire.
I say your character, hey, for stormtroopers, they're actually pretty good.
Well, the one firing at Vince did get a 15.
with his
Oops.
minus die code.
Yep, with 3 dice. 6, 6, 3. Because they're
Oh, okay.
yeah.
He was wounded, so he's minus dice. So
right. Because normally they'd be rolling 4.
oh,
Because
okay.
they have Dex 1, Blaster 3.
Gotcha.
So he barely hits you.
So it's your strength, right?
Right. I mean, Vince could try to dodge.
What did he get?
15.
No, I wouldn't be able to dodge because my strength is only a 2. That would only give me a 12.
Ah.
So
Alas.
I would have to. No,
So
I
now
couldn't
we're-
even dodge either because my dexterity is only 2. I don't have dodge. So
Ah.
It'd be your
Well-
base dex roll.
Yeah, teaching you an important life lesson. You need to get off the booze and learn how to dodge.
Well, I mean, I can still take the strength roll and get close to the number.
Yeah. So
I got a 6.
You could-
6.
okay, because they're
At
doing
least lessen it a little.
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, that's all I can really do.
because their damage is my screen went white.
Ah.
Internet. Okay. Yeah.
He's screaming at the internet. Internet!
Internet.
Oh,
Holy
Stop it.
crap.
yeah. Well, they fire and they hit. Oh, too many dice. You're lucky.
Don't
I
kill
rolled
him
five.
yet.
So no, they only did 9 for damage.
Oh, that's
4,
not-
3, and a
Oh.
couple ones.
And
okay.
I rolled a 6 total for my strength resistance. So I'm just
Yeah, so
stunned.
they're yeah. Well,
You're only taking 3.
no, when the strength roll is greater than damage, you're stunned. So you're actually
Oh,
wounded because their
okay, I'm
damage
wounded.
is 9. So you are wounded. You're like, you got what? A stormtrooper actually hit something for once. And then this stormtrooper is just like pushing his way forward over the deceased body of the other stormtrooper. So because he hadn't even had a clear shot because it's was kind of a narrow hallway. So
Okay.
yep. So we're to the next round. And you hear the blast door behind you is opened.
Now, where's Admiral Atbar and his aide now?
They're right behind you. What you heard was them
They're
opening
still
the
there?
blast door. Yeah, because they had to get the blast door open because they're all security code because the base went into lockdown.
Okay. Because I want them to get ahead of us before we move so we can cover them going down the hallway.
Yeah. So you could tell they're like ready to just go down to the next end of the hallway. And there's another blast door there.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess I'm just going to hold here.
Okay.
And I yelled at Admiral Akbar. I said, or Commander Akbar, pardon me.
Yes.
I said, Commander, you got to move now. We'll cover you. Go.
Thank you. You're an asset to the rebellion. Okay. So you guys continue doing the same. The stormtroopers are basically doing the same, and you start hearing like behind, like more footsteps coming from
Oh, crap.
down the hallway.
That's more.
So down in here, from like
Yeah.
behind them, you could hear some more feet. So there's probably another wave coming.
Hey, as a suggestion, I said we need to target the same guy to take him out.
Oh yeah, since they're in a
Yeah, that
bottleneck
lead dude.
hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that lead dude.
Yeah,
conga
this
line
one
of death
is the
is coming.
this one is the wounded one, but they're actually like side by side. So we'll kind of do this.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
so 2 people can fit in the hallway?
Yeah. So
okay.
you kind of got a choke point.
Okay. Still,
Because
we can
this
do
is
conga
actually-
line of death.
Yeah, because this base was actually made in an asteroid, so some of the turns and everything are actual like caves of the asteroid.
Mm,
Right.
So that's why that is like a choke point narrow.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So we going for another round of firing.
I
Yep.
guess so. All right, come on. Ooh. Okay. 10, 15, 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. I'll roll my damage. 10, 20 damage.
Yikes. So this stormtrooper will roll.
I'm sorry. No, 22 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, they got
'Cause
an
I-
11. So that's 2x, and he's already wounded. So yeah.
Oh, he die.
Yeah, you will not be seeing him much longer. Okay, and go Vince.
All right, so I'm at -1 die because I'm wounded,
Mhm.
and I got an 11, which is 1 more than 10, so I hit
Yep.
him.
You got
Good.
him. All right. And this
And-
one is at full health.
Yeah.
All right, so
Damage
my
still
blaster-
5 dice though. Do a
Yeah.
good roll. Do a good roll.
5, 10, 15, 20 total.
Nice.
20.
That's good damage. Good damage.
They rolled a 6 on 3 dice.
Nice.
So yes, that is a 3x.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's a there is no hope for this one. I mean,
Not
they do
even
get their
a new hope.
no, no, all is lost. It's like Cthulhu. The wounded one takes his little pot shot at Nick,
Well,
and misses. And then the other one that will no longer be with us after this round does roll a 12.
But he needs a 15 to hit.
Yes.
so he missed.
He
Yes.
missed.
So this one is now deleted, and now you don't just hear, you actually start kind of seeing the shadows of more stormtroopers coming. It's just like it's a perpetual wave.
Marines, we are leaving.
Yes.
Akbar, we go through the damn door already.
Yeah, no, they are.
Shit.
They
What
are
is wrong with
actually-
this blast door?
Yeah.
It's like
They are all now actually at the other one. Their turn was
Does it
spent
need
going
an
to the
oil
other one, and they're
can?
already
You
unlocking
can?
it.
What is it? An airlock blast door thing going on there?
Yeah,
Jeez.
what is going
basically
on?
all the security doors hit.
Yeah.
The base like goes into lockdown so people can shelter in place.
Yeah.
And it's kind of being a pain in the ass at this point.
Shelter in place. What, everybody got COVID now?
Well,
no, blue screen of death came on the screen, says you need to change your
That-
password. Damn it!
yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So
well,
yeah, they're already at the other door, and you can kind of hear it lifting. I mean,
I
so
hear him going, worst time to have a Windows update. Damn it.
yes. All right. So do you guys continue to hold in place, or do you start falling back with them?
Falling back.
I think we should stay right here.
Stay right here.
Let them get through the next blast door, and then we move forward.
So,
we want them
okay,
far ahead of us.
Because they need to get to area
12.
12. So they're going to
Yeah.
go cut down to 11. We got to wait till they get to 11 then.
Yeah, I was gonna say wait till they get to right here.
Yeah.
At that blast door, then we can move over here.
We can move or right here.
whichever. But as
Yeah.
long as they're down here, then we can move. We can drop back. We're trying to make sure to give them plenty of room.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna blast whatever guy comes close
Okay.
enough.
Yep. So you got this one right in front. He's wounded.
Okay.
Nicholas Yahtzee over here.
Yeah.
17 to hit.
That'll definitely do it.
Okay. Damage.
Good thing stormtroopers are dumb.
Yeah.
They just run straight right into you.
20
Yeah.
damage.
That,
20 damage. Well, if you
roll-
see my desk, Vince, I'm glad I'm using it because I have like 0 room to roll dice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they rolled a 13,
I
so
have one
they
of these.
are wounded.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
one is wounded.
I'm using the lid.
So Vince can go ahead and
Oh,
take
my
his
turn.
shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still at 3 dice because I'm wounded still. And that time I got a 12. Okay.
Oh.
I got it.
Got him.
Woo. Damage time. 10, 12, 17, 18.
18. Okay, and this then this is the one that is actually
Damn.
has been hit twice. So
Is there a first aid skill?
yeah, they got a whopping
There is.
3.
Oh.
So yeah. Bleh.
He's gonna be gone too.
Yeah. So you're basically they show up and guys are just mowing them down as they come.
Good.
Yeah.
And yeah, he fires and also rolls a 3 because he
Nice.
wanted to die. And this is when you see the next group just kind of run in to take their place,
Yeah.
but they don't actually fire. They just like run up.
Like dumb coughs.
Yes, they're just like, no, must continue breaking forward. And by this point, they run and they're already at the 11 blast door and working. on
Okay.
it.
Well, good. Then we can fall back when it's our next turn.
Yep. So now, okay. So you guys,
It's
Okay.
our turns?
Move
yeah,
in.
because those stormtroopers, their turn was just running up because they were back coming through this hallway.
So can we on this turn make it to right here?
Yeah, if you guys want to run, yeah, I'll say you can.
Okay.
Right here. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. I'm gonna go right up here so Nick can go down right below.
Yeah, I could be right there.
Yep. All
Or
right.
That way-
I
that
could
way
be
we
right
still
here.
have-
Actually, I could be right here. We could do a crossfire almost.
Well, I was planning on trying to get them down this hallway too,
Yeah.
as they're
Oh,
running down the
okay.
hallway, and I was
Yep.
gonna kind of hide right here.
Okay, so
Okay.
you kind of dip into that, so that way when you
Yeah.
look down the hallway, all you see is this empty corridor.
Yeah, and I'll poke around the corner myself.
Okay,
So
so
you're gonna
yeah,
go,
they're
like, right
just
here. Okay.
you hear them
Yeah.
come up, and then you hear some noise as they're in the communicate like, communication room, no one's there, type. They're like kind of confused at this point, like where did they go?
Question:
Yes.
Is there on the walls? Is there the controls for the closing the blast doors?
They're actually by the blast doors.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you,
You could try hitting it.
yeah, you could try shooting the blast door.
If I
Yeah.
if I shoot the controls, will the blast doors shut?
Yeah, it'll short it out, and the default safety mechanism is lock.
Okay, that's what I do.
It's definitely a fire trap, but there's some Empire
I don't
contractors
think we
worked on
care.
this one.
At this
No.
point, I don't think we care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the controls.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay.
Because that will say it'll be at short range, but since it's a smaller target,
Okay.
we'll up at 1, so you'll need a 15.
I got a 16.
Got it. Boom. Don't even need to roll for damage. Boom. It sparks. The blast door just closes.
So this one right
Bam!
here is shut.
Yes,
Nice.
that one
That'll
is
buy
now
us some
shut.
time.
And that actually buys you quite a bit of time because now they have to get the heavy equipment, the heavy artillery up to blast through it, which actually gives you enough time to escape out through the rafts.
Yay!
So yeah, you're able to actually make an escape by just closing a door on the stormtroopers because they don't know how to operate them and they don't have the codes.
Well,
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, the thing is, blasted shut. So.
I
Yeah.
grab you. I
So
get a
they have to
med pack.
actually cut through it.
Oh yeah. Do you have first aid?
I was going to ask, do we have med packs?
Med packs, there is some on the the medical center, you actually pass through it. That is number 11. That is the
Oh,
medical
okay.
center. So you could grab some on your way there.
Yeah, knowing that we bought some time, let's grab med packs and you could heal yourself up, Vince, with the med pack.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that since we bought some time when we go into here.
Yeah, because
I'm
each
just
one of
gonna
these
grab a med
boats
pack.
each one of these pods holds up to 15 people. So some of them, 2 of them are already gone where the other people that were have evacuated. Because there were some people here in like the med bay, and then like number 10 was like there was some people were working on the repulsor
the commander
generators.
and
9
his
was
aide
a
get
storage
in?
room. So yeah, and then
Once the commander and his aide get in, Vince, I point to you and I go to the. Would you do the honors of blasting the door shut?
yeah,
It's kind of fun.
You mean the one that we get inside room 11?
Yes.
yeah,
This
Why
one
don't we
right
just,
here.
Why don't we just close it when we go in?
yeah, you can
Well,
do
if
that
you blast
too.
it, they can't use the controls.
Yeah, Bryce,
They have to. They would have to.
All right, but
basically-
I just stand close to it and go.
pew! Yeah, you don't even as you're just walking through, you're just like pow, blasting each door as you pass through it.
Yeah, because otherwise, they're going to have to cut their way through, essentially,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Or like blast it with explosives, which is what they did to the other doors. So they're
And that's
probably
a lot more time than trying to figure out with a data pad what
right.
the code is.
So, but fortunately, Akbar was able to wipe all the plans from the computer as well. So they're not going to have any idea of what you were developing here, other than it was a base. So.
Right.
So yeah, you guys are on the life raft, and if you want to try a first aid to heal yourself with a med pack, go for it. You'll have plenty of time and plenty of room.
Yeah, I'm just gonna heal myself as slow as possible because I don't have a skill for it. So
It's just that would probably be a straight up technical roll, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you could just try a straight technical roll.
Is it technical or knowledge?
Technical.
It is? Okay.
I got a 6 total.
6, because the target for a light wound is.
Can I help him and add a die? I don't know.
If you were let's see, healing table. Okay, wounded is a 10.
I didn't make it.
No, you're like too hard to work on your patch yourself up.
All right, I'm gonna try. Well, my technical is 2 dice plus 1, so I'll give it a go. What the hell?
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right.
Ooh, 12.
Okay,
Oh,
you did it.
You
Thank
you patch him up. You're like, you've been there before. So
Ugh.
yeah, you're all patched up. You're just like, good job. Akbar's like, good job there. You're definitely wearing
Never leave a
acid and
man
saved my
behind.
Skills.
Never leave a man behind, Admiral.
Well, maybe if I get that promotion after delivering this ship, and then you guys jettison off into space and dodging Lieutenant Pollard's actually piloting it, and he's able to actually sneak you through the asteroid field that this was located in and past the Imperial.
Wow, it's got a good piloting skill.
Yeah.
All right.
That we're there. So, and now you're out into space.
Yay! So that was our combat scenario for you guys. We actually made it out alive. I got wounded.
Yeah, he proved a stormtrooper
got to use a skill,
hit something. Yeah,
got to use skill within combat, like the first aid.
Yeah,
that was cool. And one thing that I want to bring up when it comes, or a couple of things when it comes to the combat, I hope everybody picked up here. One, you can see how cinematic the combat is for this game, because you play it really loose, and if you have a good referee like Matt here, if it sounds plausible, just say, hey, give it a roll,
go for
find
it.
out what happened. And when building a character, put some dice in dodge.
I didn't give you guys any dodge because you were just like, hey, we're working on a thing. We're the scientists. We don't need to dodge things.
Which would be a straight dex roll and be like,
Yeah.
All right, so that was episode 2 that gave you a little example of combat. Hopefully that helped. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if it's your first time here as well. More videos coming next week. If you have any suggestions, just leave it in the comments below, and we will get to answering questions in another episode once we get a whole bunch together. We like doing like mailbag type things.
Yeah.
So please drop your comments, your questions, and we can do like a whole episode on like a Q&A thing and take care of that right off the bat. We will be back next time with another episode. I don't know what exactly we're going to do, but we will take care of something. You'll learn something, trust me, and you'll learn how to play this game by watching us and having fun. There are some new Star Wars movies planned coming out. As you guys saw the announcements of those things, they're going to continue with Rey, which I don't understand why they decided that the novels were not canon, but yet they're dipping into the novels and changing them.
Yeah, it's.
And there's the new Ahsoka series coming out too, right?
Yeah, that too. They decided with the new Jedi Order, which Luke Skywalker obviously was the one that did that entire series in the novels,
right?
Who's dead now. Rey is going to be the one doing it. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see when that comes out.
I played the 5th.
Yeah, well, I'm a Star Wars fan, so I will go into that objectively and see it. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a Star Wars thing, so it could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends on really from what we've seen from the movies when they were juggling basically showrunners and who was in charge, the different tonal shifts that can dramatically happen when they choose in charge. So
it's like what happened with Mandalorian. It started out great, and then all of a sudden it just kind of went.
I didn't finish last season that came out. I stopped after episode 2 because I had no clue what was even going on.
Me neither did I.
Well,
I was like, I thought Baby Yoda was taken away by Luke Skywalker. What is he doing back with him again? I'm like,
exactly.
Because it was probably supposed to be, hey, we got a good idea for one season, and we'll just do that. Oh, wow, it was a much bigger hit instead of being a one and done. Let's extend it. We need the filler episode.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna head out.
Yeah, Ahsoka looks really good.
Maybe
So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll say goodnight to everybody.